Merry Christmas, guys! Let's talk about some good music. Alright guys, let's actually talk about the Midnight. Now the Midnight is a synthwave band, a genre that is heavily relied on electronics like keyboards and synth. Now I gotta say that the Midnight is probably my favorite synthwave band, but Laserhawk is a close second. What is very unique about this synthwave band is their saxophonist, which I gotta say is probably gotta be the best synthwave saxophone I've ever heard in my life. And to be honest with you, I gotta say, my favorite album by them has gotta be Endless Summer. Now, every song on this album is amazing. I would really recommend sitting down and listening to the whole thing because there's not one song that will disappoint you. Now, my personal favorite song on this album has probably got to be The Comeback Kid. It's probably my favorite song by them overall. And Nighthawks is especially a good song because of the unique vocals it has. It's kind of got a Daft Punk sound to it, to be honest with you. That robotic sound, very synthwave. The Midnight Band, composed of Atlanta-based singer-songwriter Tyler Lyle and Los Angeles-based Danish-born producer, songwriter, and singer Tim McEwen. The band was formed as a result of Lyle and McEwen meeting during a co-writing workshop in 2012 in North Hollywood, California. Inspired in part by the score for Drive and the retro synth genre growing around its release, the pair wrote two singles, We Move Forward and Gloria. That would be released 2 years later in 2014 as a result of their debut, titled Days of Thunder. In 2016, the duo released a 12-track LP, Endless Summer, followed in 2017 with the release of Nocturnal, which spent several weeks as a bestseller on the music distribution website Bandcamp, and reached number 17 on Billboard's dance/electronic charts, October 2017. The band went on to perform their second sellout concert, taking place at the Globe Theater on Broadway in Los Angeles in 2017. The band had multiple collaborations with Time Cop 1983, another retro synth genre producer. One of their collaborations appeared on the album Nocturnal, titled River of Darkness. The other collaboration between them appears on the album Night Drive of Time Cop 1983, titled Static. Now, when I first heard The Midnight, I wasn't too stoked on the vocals. Most synthwave songs don't have vocals, they're usually just instrumentals. Now, with The Midnight though, I think they do a great job with adding in vocals to their synthwave instrumentals. And besides, they have instrumental versions of the songs that have vocals in them. So if you didn't want to hear the vocals, you could just listen to their instrumental songs. Now, The Midnight is probably one of the only synthwave bands that I know of that has vocals in them. And they do it quite well, even though when I first heard them, I wasn't open to the idea of hearing vocals, but now I am. Now, I was actually really surprised to hear that they actually sell their stuff, like physical copies of their music, heck, even merch. You gotta really check out that website because for crying out loud, they sell cassette tapes of their albums. Bro, that is crazy. And of course, vinyl. It's not really common for synthwave bands to actually sell their stuff just because of how unrecognized it is. Now let's say you actually buy a cassette tape for this band. All you gotta do, crying out loud, I found this Walkman at an antique store for like, I don't know, $3? In my opinion, that's a steal, because it works just fine. And you just pop that sucker in, and you listen to the goods. Now, if you don't have a Walkman, let's say, I don't know, go check out Goodwill. I got this bad boy at Goodwill for like $10. Cassette player. What I gotta do? Just pop that sucker in. Click that power button and you click that play. Now, if you were wondering what cassette I'm using, this is Nocturnal. My favorite song on Nocturnal's probably gotta be Collateral. I actually used that song for my Ferris Bueller remake in the montage scene. My second favorite song? It's gotta be Nocturnal. It is heavily inspired by Terminator. Just compare the soundtrack with that song on Nocturnal, it's almost identical, I gotta tell you. And speaking of Terminator soundtrack is also really good, and I recommend listening to that as well. Now, would you guys believe me if I told you that these guys do concerts? They're on tour. For crying out loud, I have never actually heard of a synthwave concert before. That would be something. I would love to go to one of these, to be honest with you, because I have never heard of a synthwave concert before. Man. The band's motto is Mono no Aware, a Japanese phrase that loosely translates to a sense of nostalgic wistfulness and the awareness that nothing lasts forever. Let me just read you what's in the album. The image of the perfect place, sun-soaked and shining, the colors forever suspended in full bloom. This perfect place may not exist, but the longing for it does. In Brazil, the word saudade means meta-nostalgia, longing for a longing. The endless summer is a promise that it can stay this good forever. May if we hold on tight enough, the autumn won't come, love won't wither, we won't fade away. This album was written in Los Angeles and New York City with inspiration from Coney Island and Venice Beach and the Nighthawks in the East Village, and the runway headings for Hollywood, and the vampire hauntings, Midtown Manhattan. We see with fogged lenses, we remember through dirty glass, but we feel that the impression of a sunset like an anchor on our hearts. The colors over the Pacific as sharp as ever. If we've never been to the ocean, life has to change and continue on to the next season. Music can linger a bit. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please let me know in the comments below. And remember, if you ain't rad, you ain't bad. Nocturnal.